Alright, so you're going to want to grab your favorite NOC luxury deck, whether it be the gold, the silver, the bronze, the hollow deck, whichever one turns you on the most right now. Grab that deck and let's get started on the first thing that we're going to talk about on how to read the marking system. So get those cards out and let's begin. So you're probably asking yourself, how could these cards be marked? And if you already know the knocking system, that's right, I said it, knocking system. The NOC marking system for the regular NOCs, the NOC originals, a few of the other ones that we've produced, you've noticed that they don't have this extra border, and that extra border is the added border that we're going to need to add the suit and the value plus the one-way system that we've put into this. But if you already know the NOC marking system for suits, it's going to be a similar system and very easy to learn. Now, we did send you a PDF that explains the marking system, but we're going to go through it again just right now. So if you do want to open up that PDF, it might be easier for you. So the first thing that you're going to notice is that the foil itself has borders, the design, right? I can't really call it a design. I mean, can you? I mean, I guess you can. I mean, it's a nice design, I'll be honest with you. Hey, I like it. And I know you do too. All right, so you'll notice that they have corners, obviously. Good observation, Alex. But the corners on each of these, you'll notice that you have the outer corners of the second little border, right? But also the main foil area also has corners, right? So if you think about it, there's 4 corners on the outside, 4 corners on the inside, and you also have corners of the white space in between. All right, so those are the 3 areas that we are going to look at for the marking system: the outer border, the inner area, and the white space in between the outer border and the inner area. And we're going to just learn the system, and after you learn the system, all you got to do is spot the corners and tell what the card is. Now, you'll also notice that the corners are either sharp or round, and that is going to be the idea of whether we should count a corner or we should not count a corner. So either they're sharp or they're round. So in this case, again, it's hard to see on camera, so I'm going to put up a image. You'll notice the difference between a sharp corner and a round corner. And if you pick up your deck and hold it in your hand, you'll notice that some corners are sharp, some corners are round. Pretty easy, right? Now, the outer edge is going to be reflective of the suit. So the outer border is going to be for the suit markings. The inner area here is going to be for the value. Right? So we've separated them so you can do things where you just have to read the suit, just have to read the value, or you can do them one step at a time, which is going to make everything easier. Instead of trying to look for everything at once, you're doing it one step at a time. So the outer border is going to be for the suit. You're going to count the sharps on the outer border. So if we go through, we get a club, a heart, a diamond, and a spade. Okay, these are the 4 suits of a deck of cards. Now we're going to put either a value 1 to 4 to each of this, and it's going to be self-intuitive, so you don't have to really memorize anything. Spade is 1 because it has 1 sharp. When you think of the spade logo, it has 1 sharp there, right? Boom. Heart is going to be 2 because it has 2 elements. Okay, a heart has 2 elements on it because the heart makes up of 2 things that come together. You know, when you go like this with somebody and then they come together like that, there's 2 heart. Okay, you get it. All right. So heart is 2. 3 is obviously club because, I mean, look at it. There's no explanation necessary. 3 is club, and of course, again, no explanation necessary. Diamond is 4 because it has 4 sharp corners. 4 corners make a diamond, hence 4 is diamond. So again, spade is 1, heart is 2, clubs is 3, and diamonds is 4. So now when we take that and go to the back design, you take a look at the outer corners and you count how many sharps there are. In this case, I count 1, 2, 3 sharps. 1 is round. We don't really, take the round into account. And we see 3 sharp corners. That means it's clubs. And it is clubs, okay? If we look here, we see only 2 of them. These 2 are sharp. That means that the card is, what is 2? Hearts. You got it. You got it. All right. Hearts. All right. Here we're taking a look and we only see the 1 sharp one on the left hand side. We have one sharp, that means it's spade. Okay, and here all four are sharp, and that's very easy to see. Once you know to pick up sharps and rounds, you can pick it up very quickly, and you know that that is a diamond. Okay, to keep in mind, one other thing is that if you see for some reason that it has no sharps, you are looking at the joker or the blank card. Okay, so the blank card, if you do decide to keep your blank card in, will not have a sharp, but also the jokers kind of looks blank with all this light here, and so reflective, but the joker itself also has 0 sharp edges on the outside, so that will also be a joker, right? So no marking system in place for those. Just something to keep in mind. So now that we know clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, how to read that, we can take it a step further and learn how to read the rest. The second thing that we have to learn is the marking system for the one-way. Okay, so these cards can be used as a one-way system, but it's also important to learn the one-way for the value system of the inner area markings to determine if it's a 5, a 6, a king, an ace, whatever it may be. So the first thing that we're going to learn is the one-way system. Now we're talking about the middle area, the white area in between the outer border and the inner area. All right, there's a thin white line, and the top left corner, when you're looking at it, the top left corner is either sharp or round. Now the most important thing when reading the value marking system, again, it doesn't matter for the suit, but the value marking system is that the top left corner is sharp. Okay, so go through, cut the deck a few times, get a random card, and just take a look at the top left corner and try to distinguish whether it is round, whether it is sharp. All right, and once you get a few of these down, you literally put, two together, and you see the difference between a round and a sharp. If the sharp corner is in the top left, that means the orientation is correct. Okay, if it is in the bottom, right, or rather you have a round area over here, then all you're going to need to do is turn it 180 degrees so that the sharp corner is in the top left of the inner area. Okay, so it's very, very simple when you get the hang of it. So you're going to, again, cut the deck a few times and just practice that. You see it's sharp, you know it's good around. If not, you're just turning it over like this. All right, again, boom, you're here. So of course, I hope you have the deck of cards in your hand and you're going to be able to do this. So it really takes a very short amount of time to get that down. Boom and boom. Okay, so you know whether it is sharp or round. All right, let's talk about the value system now. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Now, basically, once you've done the suit should be pretty straightforward. You see the corners, 4 sharps is diamonds, boom, you have the suit already. Now you're going to take a look at, of course, to make sure that the one-way is correct. So I see the sharp in the inner area here of the white middle part between the outer border and the inner area. I know it's sharp to the top of the left-hand side. I know I'm holding it the correct way. Again, remember, if it was like this and I go, oh, it's round, then I just do one of these before I start the value marking system. And now we're taking a look at the inner border. The inner area, all right, is this area here with the most foil on it, and that is going to determine the value of the card. Now again, we're looking at the corners, and all we're doing is counting them up, and we're going to put a value system, a binary value system that when added up will give you a value between 1 and 13. And the value system is as follows, and you can see here you have 1, 2, 4, and 8. Now what does that mean? Well, each corner, right, starting, again, it has to be the right way around because then you're doing it backwards and it's not going to work. So corner up here, we're good to go on the orientation of the cards. And you have the top left corner, when you're holding the deck, top left corner is a value of 1. Bottom left corner is a value of 2. Moving over to the bottom right corner is a value of 4. And the top right corner has a value of 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. And what does that mean? Well, when adding together the sharps, so we're taking a look at the sharps, we count the sharps and we add those values together, that will give you a value between 1 and 13. Now you might think to yourself, maybe I can't do math. Well, that might be a problem, but don't worry, it's all pretty straightforward. Now you're going to get the hang of it after a few tries because you're going to get used to a 5. What does that mean? You're going to get used to, these two being sharp, being round, and adding it up. And the more you do it, practice a few days, take a weekend, put a deck of cards in your hand, practice it a few times by literally going through one by one, and you're going to get it really, really fast to the point where you can do this without really having to look at the card for a long period of time. And we'll talk about that in the next section. So we'll take you through a few examples right now. Card is oriented the correct way. I see 4 sharps right there. I know it's a diamond. And now I'm just going to take a look at the inner area and see how many sharps there are. Well, here I see that's round is round. This one is sharp and this one is round. Okay, so I only see a sharp on the bottom right corner. And I know the bottom right corner is a 1, 2, 4. 4 and 8, right? So 4, the 4 value corner is sharp. We count it and we know that it is a 4. Boom. Okay, 4 of diamonds. Let's take a look at the next one here. Well, taking a look over here, we have 1 sharp, which is the top left corner of the outer border. So we know that it is a spade. Okay, and the orientation is correct because we see the inner area is, and this you do at the same time as looking at the outer border. So I take a look really quickly. It's really easy to get the suits. It takes literally half a second. And I also take a look, make sure that it's oriented the same way. And now all I have to do, glance away. And when I glance back, then I'm going to start to count the inner area sharps and rounds. So in this case, I only see a sharp in the top right corner. This case, I know that it is an 8. Remember, 1, 2, 4, 8. So I know it is 8 and a spade. So 8 of spades is this card. Okay? And let's just do one more to try to get one that you add up. So here we have 2, 3, 4 corners are sharp on the outer area, so we know it's a diamond. And here again, I only see 1 being sharp. Top left corner is sharp. Everything is oriented the correct way, so we know it is 1. It is an ace. Ace of diamonds is the next card. And we're going to keep going here so we can get one that we actually have to fidget a little bit with. Here I don't see any corners, so automatically we know it's either a joker or a blank card. So there we go. Here we have 3 that are sharp right away. You see, I saw that 3. I know it's a club right away. Again, let's make pretend that it was this way. Oh, I don't see it sharp, right? So when I was looking at the corner, I also take a look at the top left of the middle section, and I know it's not oriented the right way. So then I'm just going to do this while I talk, while I do whatever. Now I'm going to start to count. Well, here's a little bit more of an interesting card. Finally, we have the value of, so we have 3 sharps here. We have the value of 1, the value of 2, and the value of 4 together. So if my math serves me right, this should be a 7, right? 1 plus 2, that's a 3, plus a 4, that should be a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, I was correct on that. This one is not sharp, so we don't have to count the 8. So this is a 7 plus, of course, the 3 sharps from the outer corner. It is a 7 of clubs. Bam. Okay. So that is what you have to do. Go through the deck, shuffle it up, and my suggestion would be go through first just the suits. Okay. And if you already own a NOC deck, you can do the suits just with the NOC original. So if you're already familiar with this, then just start doing the value system. And just try to do it without looking at the card too much. Okay, you're just doing it off of a glance. So boom, I see 2, I know it's a heart. Boom. Okay, I take a glance down and I see that it is a 3, so I know it is club, and so on and so forth. So do that throughout the whole throughout the whole suit system. All right. Now, one interesting little thing that I want to mention is that you'll notice that the suits themselves, they always start, the sharps always start in the top left corner. For example, if this is a spade, which it is a spade, it's going to be in the top left corner. All right. If it is one sharp and you notice it's the bottom left corner, then you know the orientation is not correct, because we always start marking the cards the way that we design them in the top left corner, and we go from the top to the second one over here, to the third one here, to the fourth one here. All right, so what that means is that you don't necessarily need the one-way system by taking a look at the inner white area in between the outer border and the inner area. You don't need to look for that if it is anything besides a diamond. It's a quick little hack there for you. So if it is a spade, for example, this is a spade, just make sure that the top left corner is the pointy part. All right, so if you see it over here, the pointy part is over here, the sharp area is over here of the value of the suit. Then you just turn it around, and you know that because we start the sharps in the top, and then we go top, bottom left, then we go bottom right, then that's just an easier way to get the one-way system. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So in this case, let's get a club just to make it easy to follow. Here, you know that if the top left is not sharp, you're holding it the wrong way. So even just looking at just the suit, you know that it is not the correct orientation if you want to go and read the value. All right, you always need the top left to start with a sharp, because that's the way that we marked it, right? And we know that it's correct. So always look at the top left, make sure that's a sharp. Whether it be a spade, a heart, it's always going to be the two sharp ones on the top for it to be oriented correct. For a club, is this the club? Yes. For the club, again, it's always going to be, if you see the round one here, it's not oriented correct, just turn it around, and then you have it. For the diamond, if we do get a diamond here, then we see that it's all the diamond, then we can't use this sort of hack, then we have to look at the one way. So again, you do not have to look at the one way all the time when doing this. There is a short little shortcut that you can take advantage of. So the way that we're going to read the marking system is by steps, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. So the way that I do it, and of course you could have your sort of own method, whatever's going to be easier for you. Once you learn how to read it, of course, once you learn and you do this and you can see with the spot, all right, boom, I see three sharps, I know it's a club. I know it's oriented the wrong way, so I have to turn it this way. All right, I take a look at the inner area, and just with the glance, all right, you could just take a look at the corners. You don't have to count them and take too much time looking at it. So in this case, I just saw that there's 3 really quickly with a glance. I know it's a club. I know it's oriented the right way. I don't even have to look at the one-way system. I know because the top left of the suit value is sharp. I already know it, and I'm already on within half a second to the value system, and I could see 1, 2, 3 are sharp. I look away, all right, and I just do the calculation in my head. You don't have to do the calculation while looking at the card. That's I think a very important thing when learning how to do this, right? Especially, I mean, when you're learning, obviously, but in performance, you want to practice as if you were performing. So what that means is that you don't want to spend too much time looking at the card. Once you get your, in this case I see here 3 points of value, 3 sharps in the inner area, so that I know 1, 4, and 8 is sharp, so that 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 corresponds with king, and so we know it's a king and a club because of the club marking system. Okay, so keep in mind, ace is 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 is self-explanatory. Jack is 11, 12 is queen, 13 is king. This should be obvious, but I did want to mention it just in case. One suggestion I have is to take out the ace through king, and doesn't matter which suit. You just go through the deck, take out an ace, 2, 3, the first ones that you find, and just place them on top of the deck, okay? And you want to get accustomed to seeing which cards, or rather which sharps, correspond with which value. So because you already know that we're going in order, that will get your mind accustomed to knowing that ace is only the top left of the inner area is going to be sharp. So you know that automatically, so that when you do this, your mind automatically does it. You don't have to do calculations so much, okay? And trust me, once it's fairly easy to do. Just you do it over the course of a weekend and you'll get it. So let's go through them one by one, just so you can get used to it together. Here I see And we don't have to do the suit, but you could do the suit as you want, but let's just concentrate on the value system. Here we see the top left is sharp, and so that means obviously there's only one marking, and that is the value of 1. We know it's an ace. Okay, boom. Now here again, you want to make sure that it is correctly positioned in the orientation of it. Here I don't see a sharp on the top left corner, so I know automatically it is not positioned correctly. All right, I can look at the inner white area, the inner white border, which will tell me that it is not, but because I glanced already at the top left corner of the suit marking system, I know that because this one is round, and remember, like we said, we always start our sharps in the top, I know I have to reorient it. Boom. Okay, so now I know 2 is the bottom left. So I don't even have to do the calculation for 1, 2, 4, and 8 because it's only going to be 1 sharp for each. All right, so I know that too. Easy. Boom. All right, now for 3, again, I look at the orientation. It's not oriented correctly. Boom, I'm good to go. And now 3 is going to be the top and the bottom left corners of the inner area are going to be sharp. You look at that, I see it with a glance, and I see 1, 2. I could look away. I don't have to do anything. I already know 1 plus 2 is 3, and we're good to go. 4 is going to be just the bottom left-hand corner. In this case, it is a diamond. I can see that just quickly with a glance, and is oriented the right way because of the one-way system. And I look, the bottom right-hand corner is sharp in the inner area, then I know it is a 4. So like I said, 1, 2, 4, and 8 are going to be the easiest one. Now 5, all you have to know is what is 5. It's a 4 plus a 1. So you know automatically that these 2 will be the sharp ones, right? The top left corner, bottom right one will be sharp. So just make sure that it is oriented correctly. I have to turn it, in this case, 180 degrees, and then I just take a look. Boom, I already see these 2. Once I see these 2, I can look away, and I know what the value is. Boom, 5. All right, and moving on, now 6. What is 6 going to be? Well, 6 is a combination of a 4 and a 2 in our system, right? So we know 4 and a 2, the bottom 2 ones are going to be the ones that are being sharp. Make sure it's oriented the right way, then take a look. Oh, bottom 2, we know it is a 6. So now you're going to get used to it, right? So now you're going to get used to the bottom 2. Oh, you know it's a 6. Top and bottom of the left-hand side, you know it's a 3. All right, only the right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, you know it's a 4. So go through these 6, 7, 8. 8, like I said, it was easy. 9 is going to be an 8 and a 1, and get used to which combination of 1s or 2s, well, you can't have a combination of 1, but 2s, all right, whether it's here, etc. Get used to the combination, put them on each card, and that will stick in your memory much easier than trying to every time calculate it, right? So that is my tip for you, and you could go through it and do the 9, the 10. Jack is 11, 12, 13. You get the idea. That is the value marking system. Do practice that, and let's come back and learn some more stuff.